consider TCA 4011-118. The overriding intent of that statute now is to protect the public interest and public safety. Mr. Eathley's on bond apparently on several other matters when this matter was allegedly committed. I'm looking at an A and really a super D, a C, really 3 C's and an A really for tracking kind of purposes. It's pretty serious.
Your Honor mentioned criminal homicide. I thought that was attempted.
I said, did I say homicide? I meant to say attempted criminal homicide if I didn't.
Okay,
I
understood.
thought I did, but that's still an A felony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a bail
I'm
hearing.
gonna set just a bond right now. After we have our bail hearing, then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at 1.25 million, based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, were here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies and his bond.
So I need y'all to understand before we even get into these clips today. Free speech, the thing this man wrapped himself up in like it was bulletproof armor, is the protection from government tyranny. That's what it means. That's all that it means. It doesn't mean you walk up to somebody, disrespect them with everything you got, and then act surprised when consequences come knocking at your front door. Chud the Builder found that out the hard way. Real talk. But before we get into it, show the channel some love, hit the sub button, hit the like, hype this thing up, cue the clip.
This that Ramondo reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.
He's dead. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Someone called him because I'm recording.
I'm calling him.
Now that right there, that's the footage. That's what free speech got him. A man is on the ground, officers are present, and Chud the Builder is sitting on the ground in handcuffs, wondering where his free pass went. Here's the situation for anyone catching up. A content creator who built his entire platform on provoking black people with racial slurs and then retreating behind the First Amendment shot a United States military veteran, not a random individual, not somebody who was threatening his life, a veteran, someone who actually put on a uniform and fought for the rights that this man has been abusing like a loaner car.
And we got great news for Chud the Builder. He has been charged with attempted murder amongst other felony charges. The dumb motherfucker shot a United States military veteran. Not only did he shoot the veteran, he did it while the police officers were trying to apprehend both of them. Ain't no motherfucking self-defense.
Now Tennessee, they not playing with him. Attempted murder, multiple felony convictions, multiple felony crimes, facing up to 40 years. But here's where the math gets interesting. And I want y'all to stay with me because this is important. In Tennessee, and I mean Tennessee specifically, there is a hate crime sentencing enhancement. Tennessee Code Section 40-35-114, subsection 17. If a prosecutor can prove that the defendant intentionally selected the victim based on race, the court can bump that felony classification up on a Class A felony, which attempted murder qualifies as. You're talking about a sentencing range of 15 to 60 years, not 40, 60. And then there's the domestic terrorism statute, TCA section 39-13-805. If the act was intended to intimidate a civilian population on the base of race, you're no longer just looking at a violent crime. You're looking at a politically and ideology motivated act. It's over with, buddy. Now here's where the disconnect really starts.
The N-word is the most commonly used word in hip-hop. It's used almost every other word. Every rapper says it, and it means a million things. It can mean something good, it can mean something bad, it can mean friend, it means person, it can mean anybody. It literally means anything. But For some reason in America, if a white person says that same word, the sentiment is you should act violently in response. This is
And people now say he's a martyr, he's a martyr. Well, the black people were chimping out. Well, I don't know. If I were standing around and a black person was live streaming near me and they started saying things offensive to white people, yeah, maybe I would feel a certain type of way about that. Maybe, isn't that sort of our whole thing?
See, this right here is somebody arguing that the response to the disrespect is the problem, not the disrespect itself. Let that sit for a second. He's framing the entire conversation around a word, and he's acting like the people who respond to being called that word are the ones creating division. I'm not reacting off a word. You feel me? I'm acting off disrespect. And that's a distinction that these content creators, black or white, keep trying to gaslight us into forgetting.
All these, he's standing up for free speech. Free speech is to protect you from a tyrannical government. It don't protect you from the streets. Just because you got free speech and you walk up to me saying the hard R, and you expect me to not feel disrespected and do something about it. Today I might walk away. The next day I might say something. The next day after that I might laugh about it. And the day after that I might beat your motherfucking ass.
Free speech is meant to protect you from a tyrannical government. It don't protect you from the streets. And if a damn sure don't protect you from a Tennessee criminal code.
I hate these content creators, black or white, trying to gaslight us as if we don't feel disrespected by the word. You might say bitch in the wrong way, and I might want to come after you. It's not just about the word. It's about you disrespecting me and thinking I'm going to sit there and take it. People act like words haven't got our greatest leaders killed.
People want to act like words haven't gotten our greatest leaders killed. What makes you any different? Martin Luther King didn't get killed because somebody walked up to him with a weapon out of nowhere. Words built the environment that made that assassination feel acceptable to the people who planned it. Words dehumanize. Words set the conditions. And when you use specific words with specific intent directed at a specific group, and then you follow it up with a firearm, the law sees that. Tennessee sees that. Now I want to address this self-defense argument because people online, they're already spinning it.
Now from this video, you got in a small tussle with this particular guy. It wasn't too much. How did you still get your gun off and fire shots while officers are on you? And then you try to go act like, oh, it's self-defense. Hey, newsflash, if I punch you, especially if I'm smaller than you, which this guy is, and you shoot me, you going to jail. You have to equal or greater force. It depending on body size, depending on if I came and tried to choke you out or had a weapon, then that's when you can use deadly force.
Tennessee self-defense law, TCA section 39-11-611, Tennessee stand your ground statute requires that you reasonably believe that you are facing imminent death or serious bodily harm. And this is the part people are conveniently skipping. You cannot be the initial aggressor. The person who showed up to a situation they engineered with the predetermined outcome in mind cannot then invoke stand your ground. But here's the other layer. You have to meet force with equal or greater force. If somebody smaller than you throws hands and you shoot them, you're going to jail. That's not my opinion. That is literal Tennessee law. But here's the thing that takes this from bad situation to you're simply cooked. Full stop.
They say he's facing up to 40 years. And it might be a little bit more because if they can label him as a domestic terrorist, it's over with, buddy. You already said that the grand finale will be a dead chimp laying on the ground and you walking away free. This is premeditated. This was premeditated.
He said it. He already said the grand finale will be a dead chimp on the ground and he'd be walking away a free man. That statement is premeditation. Under Tennessee law, when you establish intent before an act, especially in a documented public format, you eliminate your own defenses. Attempted first-degree murder with premeditation is a Class A felony, enhanced. And when you combine that with the racial language, dead chimp, that's not something a defense attorney can explain. That's a hate crime qualifier handed to the prosecutor on live stream. Real talk. Now here's where it gets interesting, because the most unlikely voice in this situation breaks it down correctly.
Let's listen to what Nick Fuentes have to say about Chud the Builder and using the N-word.
And people now say he's a martyr, he's a martyr. Well, the black people were chimping out. Well, I don't know. If I were standing around and a black person was live streaming near me and they started saying things offensive to white people, yeah, maybe I would feel a certain type of way about that. Maybe, isn't that sort of our whole thing? And there's something ironic about that. You have a lot of people who are pro-white, and it's all about racial pride, and it's all about beating their chest, and it's all about saying, oh, you know, I'm white. Don't try that stuff around me. Don't insult white people around me. So much racial pride. But then there's this double standard where it seems that white people want to go out in some cases and offend the sensibilities of other people. They feel emboldened, for example, to use harmful stereotypes about other people, say racial slurs about other people, be provocative towards other people, and that's fine. That's free speech. That's funny. Hey, man, can't you take a joke? Hey, man, it's just a word.
In this whole situation, actually breaks it down correctly. Nick Fuentes. People attach a lot of labels to their name, but I'm gonna give credit what credit is due on this specific situation, even though I don't want to, because what he says about Chud the Builder and the border free speech crowd is accurate. He points out the double standard, and he is right. You have people out here screaming racial pride. I'm white, don't come at me like that. But those same people want to walk around using slurs, making jokes, being provocative towards everybody else's community. And when somebody actually responds, they're chimping out. But when the tables turn, when somebody says something anti-white, it's those same people puffing up their chest. How dare you? You would never say that against a minority. But I digress. You
know who holding this sentiment? It be poor white men who haven't really achieved shit. It's the poor whites with this sentiment. You feel like your freedom of speech is above somebody else's. You feel me? And it's crazy you got Nick Fuentes pointing this out.
And when black people get pissed off or take umbrage or they attack, oh, well, you're chimping out. But then when the roles are reversed, if somebody says something anti-white, if someone says something exclusionary to white people, it's those same white people that puff up their chest and say, how dare you? You would never say that about a minority, this, that, and the other.
You know who holds that sentiment? It be old white men who haven't achieved anything meaningful. And I mean that with surgical precision, not blanket condemnation. You feel like your freedom of speech is above someone else's dignity. You feel entitled to disrespect without consequences. But that's not freedom. That's just arrogance with no accountability. See, here's where Sneako and the free speech crowd aren't mathing for me. They're debating the word, just the word. Chud the Builder isn't in a Tennessee courtroom based on a word. He's there because he escalated a confrontation that he built, discharged a firearm while law enforcement was actively present, shot a decorated veteran, and did all of it with documented racial intent. You don't get the retreat when the receipts are that clear. I'm not ignorant to the origins. I understand the conversation, but there is a difference between academic debate about language evolution and walking up to a human being with racial malice in your heart and a gun on your hip.
How much abuse have you, let's just be perfectly honest, let's be fair. A lot of people aren't gonna like this monologue. I don't care. This is what's fair. This is what's true. I see on the timeline how many out and loud and proud white people are saying Indians are fucking and blacks are and Mexicans are and all this kind of stuff. And making jokes about you shit in the street and you like watermelon and all this kind of stuff. And they're the same people. They don't want to hear anything negative about whites. And how do I know that? Because I say negative things about all groups of people. And it's the same people that die laughing when I make fun of one group. Haha, that's hilarious. I love when you say nigga. I love when you do that bit. I love when you say you're not gonna go to the gas station if there's black people. That's hilarious. When I say Polish people are slipping on a banana peel or they can't change a light bulb, it's the same people saying, hey man, you're anti-white. You say Albanians aren't white. Fuck you. So which is it?
And Nick Fuentes, well, he got flack from his own fan base pointing this out. Let that sink in. The man who his own community calls him a white nationalist is getting pushback from that community for saying you can't demand respect for your race while disrespecting everybody else's. That should tell you everything you need to know about the people defending Chud the Builder right now. It's like white folks don't want to be painted in a bad light, but want to laugh at everybody else's, like I'm throwing stones. Here's what it comes down to, and that's just my opinion. Everybody don't gotta agree. Free speech gives you the right to speak. It doesn't give you the right to be free from consequences. Not from the streets, not from a jury, and definitely not from Tennessee's hate crime enhancement statute. Chud the Builder had a grand finale in his mind. Turns out, the grand finale looks like a 40-year sentence in a Tennessee prison. And the irony is the veteran that he shot, the one that actually fought for the constitutional rights Chud was out here abusing, he's the one that gets to walk away. But that's just me. What would you have done if you were in that situation? Let me know in the comments. Till next time, if you enjoyed the content, hit that sub button to the right. I truly appreciate it. And to the left, more dope content. Until next time, I'm out.
This that Ramondo reacts, huh? Y'all came in for the laughs, huh? You did. Stay for the commentary cause it makes sense, huh? Real talk.
That boy is good.